Over the long and complicated history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it seems there are very few things that Nick Fury doesn't know. We've seen him surprised on occasion, but overall, he seems to be 2 steps ahead of everyone. Could he have had an advance warning that Thanos would make half the life in the universe disappear? And could have this something to do with Captain Marvel? Well, let's find out, shall we? Even when Nick Fury claims to be taking a break, Marvel fans know he's making it his mission to gather as much information as possible about the MCU.
You think Fury's hiding something?
He's a spy. Captain, he's the spy.
While we first met Fury during the post-credit scene of Iron Man, his career at S.H.I.E.L.D. preceded that moment by decades. He has an extensive military career and is highly trained in the art of espionage. He's been a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. since the 1980s, which, as we all know, slightly predates the emergence of Captain Marvel. Let's talk about Nick Fury's relationship with Captain Marvel for a moment. We're all excited to see the Captain Marvel movie, and we know that Samuel L. Jackson is set to reprise his role as Nick Fury in the film. We also know the movie takes place during the 1990s, long before the Avengers even existed, let alone were worried about stopping Thanos. In the Ultimate Marvel comic book series, Nick Fury and Carol Danvers work for S.H.I.E.L.D., and each of them eventually becomes convinced that the other is a traitor. This leads to an epic battle in which Danvers is grievously injured, leaving Fury as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. We can't say exactly what'll go down in the MCU between these two, but we have some ideas. In Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Fury reveals that he lost his eye the last time he trusted someone, and we know that in Captain Marvel, we'll be seeing a young Nick Fury with both his eyes intact. Given their, at times, contentious comic book history, many fans believe that Captain Marvel may be the reason that Nick Fury is missing an eye in the present-day MCU. Further highlighting the connection between Fury and Danvers is the post-credits scene of Avengers: Infinity War. Seeing people starting to dissolve right in front of your eyes would certainly be a reason to panic, but all things considered, Fury seems to act very purposefully here. Right before he himself vanishes, we see that he was sending a message to Captain Marvel, as evidenced by her symbol showing up on his device. So this begs the question: could Fury have known the snap was coming, and does this explain some of his earlier actions in the MCU?
Nick Fury, Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
We know it's hard to remember a time before Avengers movies were dominating the box office, but think back for a moment. When we first saw Fury approaching Tony Stark at the end of Iron Man, it was to talk about his Avengers Initiative. Fury had long been interested in the idea of amassing a team of superheroes in order to deal with incredible threats. During the movie Avengers: Age of Ultron, we learned that the Battle of New York was a huge wake-up call for Tony Stark. He realized that his team was woefully unprepared to deal with alien threats, and that the bar had been raised in terms of bad guys. It's clear that at some point in his long career at S.H.I.E.L.D., Fury had come to the same conclusion, that extraordinary measures must be taken in order to ensure the safety of our planet. But just what was Fury so afraid of?
We learned that not only are we not alone, but we are hopelessly outgunned.
Fury had been working on his Avengers Initiative for ages, but of course, that's a lot harder when you don't know of any superheroes. As soon as they began popping up, Fury started hunting them down in order to utilize their unique talents. So it's possible that whatever his motivation for the Avengers Initiative is, this project has already been in the works for quite some time. We also know that Thanos has been working on his plan for quite some time as well. During Infinity War, he went on an absolute rampage to collect all the Infinity Stones, but this wasn't the start of his journey. Obtaining Infinity Stones is something that attracts a ton of attention, and there are many immense enemies that could pose a threat to even Thanos himself. Not wanting to keep the stones together before he was ready to use them, and not wanting his plans to be interfered with, Thanos knew he had to patiently track down the Infinity Stones before he made his move. This means the snap isn't something which just happened on a whim. It took lots of careful time and planning in order to pull it off.
The entire time I knew Thanos, he only ever had one goal: to bring balance to the universe by wiping out half of all life.
Captain Marvel stands out among other heroes because of her connection to outer space. While many of our favorite heroes are earthbound, Carol Danvers is a member of Star Force. Captain Marvel will involve her returning home from serving with the elite Kree military team on an intergalactic conflict between 2 alien worlds. If Nick Fury was able to learn about Thanos and his plan via his connection to Carol Danvers, it's possible that he created the Avengers Initiative with the idea of preventing the snap from happening. Once he realized what was going on at the end of Infinity War, he knew that the Avengers must have failed in their mission. That's why we see him send a message to Captain Marvel instead of one of the Avengers.
This is Scott Lang. We met a few years ago. I got really big.
Is this an old message?
Most Marvel fans believe that Avengers Endgame will have something to do with time travel. We saw this introduced during the movie Doctor Strange, and at this point, it seems like the only plausible way to stop Thanos and undo the snap. When we finally see the highly anticipated trailer for Avengers Endgame, we have to admit we were fully expecting Captain Marvel to make an appearance, but as we all know, we got to see Scott Lang instead. The last time we saw him, he was traveling through the quantum realm during the post-credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, but when Thanos snapped his finger, seemingly everyone who would have helped him disappeared. This led many to wonder if Lang got out using one of the time vortexes that Janet Van Dyne warned him about. There have been some debate over whether Lang shows up at Avengers headquarters in the present day, or if Black Widow and Captain America are watching an old videotape. Although the Avengers facility is new, the building isn't. If he did manage to make an appearance in the past, it's not too crazy to suggest that a S.H.I.E.L.D. employee named Nick Fury might find his story very interesting. While he was busy during the events of Infinity War, Scott does know a lot about the MCU that someone from the past would find valuable. He clearly knows all about the Avengers, but hadn't yet encountered the Guardians of the Galaxy. Perhaps this explains why Fury was so focused on his Avengers initiative and not looking for extraterrestrial help. Even if Scott didn't know about Thanos specifically, he would have had knowledge about major plot points in the MCU, which could have been passed along to Fury. This could be an explanation for how many things Fury seemed to know would be taking place. Many fans believe that Endgame will feature our heroes traveling through time and claiming the Infinity Stones before Thanos has a chance to. Doctor Strange has been known to travel through time on numerous occasions, including during Infinity War, when he takes a quick peek at some alternate timelines. Is it possible that he took a quick detour to S.H.I.E.L.D. in order to fill Nick Fury in on a few things? We aren't trying to discredit Fury and his information-gathering abilities, but sometimes his intuition is downright uncanny, almost as if he knew for certain what was going to happen. Just think about the fact that Nick Fury was able to find Captain America in the first place, let alone know that tracking him down would be worth his time. And in Age of Ultron, he shows up just in time to give the Avengers the inspiration they need to create Vision using the Mind Stone.
Trouble, Ms. Romanoff. No matter who wins or loses, trouble still comes around.
You might say that nothing about Nick Fury's behavior suggests he was warned beforehand about Thanos or the decimation that happened in Infinity War, but you have to admit that it was strange that Nick Fury was trying to assemble a team of superheroes all the way back in 2008, a few years before Thor showed up in New Mexico and revealed to the world that aliens are a real thing. Why is it so important to start assembling the Avengers before Earth faced any real threat? How could Fury have known that a day will come when the people of Earth will need the help of a team of heroes? Fury was hellbent on assembling the Avengers as if he already knew about the incoming Chitauri invasion in the first Avengers film. While there's no proof to suggest that he knew the attack on Earth would happen, we think it'd be really awesome if, with some time traveling by either Ant-Man or Doctor Strange, it's revealed that Fury has been preparing for Thanos even before the events of the first Iron Man movie. While Scott Lang wasn't Ant-Man during the events of the first Avengers film, everyone on Earth was very aware of the Battle of New York. So, if Ant-Man travels back in time in Endgame, he could give Nick Fury some juicy information about the future, and Fury could use that to prepare the Avengers for the Endgame.
We're in the Endgame now.
If Fury knew that Thanos was collecting the Infinity Stones all of this time, it would explain a lot of his actions and motivations. Wouldn't it be an interesting plot twist if we find out that not only has Fury known about all the events of the MCU long before they happen, but he was actually working behind the scenes to ensure that things go according to plan, so when it's time to fight Thanos and reverse the snap, the Avengers will be there to save the universe. This could explain why Fury waited so long to call Captain Marvel. Going back to Avengers Infinity War post-credit scene, the moment people start turning into dust right before him, Fury doesn't even hesitate to use the pager to call Carol Danvers. If Fury had that pager in other potential catastrophic events like the Chitauri invasion, why didn't he use it before? Well, it's possible that Fury knew he must wait until a very specific point and time to call Captain Marvel. It's likely that Nick Fury was warned by either Ant-Man or Doctor Strange about Thanos and the snap, and Fury knew that it's time to use his pager. You might ask, why wouldn't Ant-Man or Doctor Strange tell Fury to call Carol sooner to prevent the snap? But as we saw in Infinity War, Doctor Strange used the Time Stone, and he saw the one future to stop Thanos. After the fight with the Mad Titan, Doctor Strange says that they're in the Endgame now, and what do you know, that's the name of the fourth Avengers film. What if everything that happened in the MCU so far had to happen, including the snap that wiped out half of the life of the universe? What if the only way to actually stop Thanos and reverse the snap is to allow Thanos to do it in the first place? If Fury knew this, it explained why he didn't call Captain Marvel sooner, since it's possible that Carol Danvers is essential for the Endgame to take place and for the Avengers to win.
You're wrong about me. I do share. I'm nice like that.
We know sometimes it seems as though there isn't anything Nick Fury can't do, but could he really have predicted the snap? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section below, and then click on the subscribe button to stay up to date with all the other MCU videos here at CBR. Thanks for watching.